In early 2017, my buddy Steve and I flew to Papua Indonesia, hoping to climb Carstenz Pyramid or Punkak Jaya to the locals. We wanted to climb without guides nor Sherpas and see just how thin we could spend our cash along the way. We flew via EVA Air from San Francisco to Taipei and on to Bali. After a 6-hour layover, we flew Garuda Air to Timika. These flights cost us each about $1,500 round trip. Once in Timika, the adventure begins. There is sparse English and little Wi-Fi, so get yourself a data SIM card for your phone and leave plenty of time for logistics. We managed to carve out 3 weeks for this trip, and by the end, we were glad we did. When you touch down in the Timika airport, you will come out in the international terminal. The new domestic terminal is on the other side of the runway. This is where you can catch fixed-wing flights to Sugalpa and heli up to base camp. The two best hotel options are the Grand Tembaga and the Freeport Rimba Papua Hotel. They offer quite different experiences and cost $60 and $140 respectively. Timika itself is a town of about 140,000 people. About 70% are Indonesians and 30% are native Papuans. Hey!
Coming down to the light of day, we got many moons that are deep at play, so I keep an eye on the shadows, smile to see.
Upon entry into Indonesia, whether it be Jakarta or Bali, you'll receive a 30-day visa extension, although you're still required to check into customs in Timika once you land. After customs, the next item on your list is to get your SKJ. This is your permit to travel freely throughout Papua. You can do this in Jakarta or head over to Polisi 32, the police station at kilometer marker number 32, on the way to the infamous Freeport mine. The SKJ itself is free. You will, however, need to bring 2 passport photos, and most importantly, a big smile. The culture on the island was like nothing we had ever seen before. Take a few days to absorb what Papua has to offer. Learn the secret handshakes, live the celebrity life, and make sure you bring lots of cash. You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone who accepts credit cards, and that includes the $3,000 US per hour heli outfit. From Timika, you have 3 ways to get up to Carstensz. The cheapest is to find your way up to Tembagapura via a 3-hour worker bus from the mine. This is not exactly illegal, so it wouldn't be my recommendation. However, we did see people do it. The second option is taking a 30-minute flight from the domestic terminal. The Sugalpa airport everyone talks about is referred to as Bilogag. You can also fly into Bioga. Both entail a 3 to 5 day jungle trek through one of the most spectacular rainforests in the world. Fixed air flight costs are on the bottom right of the screen. The exchange rate in March 2017 was 13,500 rupiah to the US dollar. We desperately wanted to hike in via Sugalpa. However, our trip fell about a week after local elections, and the area was considered a legitimate war zone, with frequent infighting between the locals. We saw numerous warriors impaled by arrows being rushed off the plane to the local hospital. I guess it was right about then that we decided to scrap the jungle and heli up to base camp. The helicopter operation is run by China Air. Their offices are at the domestic terminal. The government-owned Airbus helicopter had less than 100 hours when we flew. The cost was about $3,000 US per hour with a 2-hour minimum, meaning 4 climbers can get up and back to base camp for about $6,000 or $1,500 per person. After a 4-day wait, we finally got our weather window. It wasn't much of a break, it was pretty touch and go up to the mountains, but we managed to get through Yellow Valley and finally settled down at base camp. The closest call of the trip came as the heli pulled away from base camp. I don't want this to sound like an indictment to the pilots. Like I said, everybody was pretty gripped and puckered. The clouds were dropping lower and they just wanted to get the hell out of that valley. As they made the turn, the tail rotor came about 6 inches from Steve-O's backpack. It was pretty scary stuff.
Now what do we do?
Yellow Valley has a little bit of a moonish feel to it. Dramatic limestone cliffs line the skyline for 2,000 feet. We were prepared for rain and weren't disappointed.
I could also take my hat off and let you use that as well.
Our 3 favorite pieces of trip gear were a large waterproof tarp we hung over our tent and used as a vestibule, breathable rain boots, and a thick plastic rain ponchos we bought in Tamika.
Let's say you can see the ocean from up here.
The climb itself took about 9 hours. None of the terrain was overly difficult. I actually climbed in my rain boots. The ridge section is the climb's feature. You find your way over traverses and keyholes as you look down to the valley some 2,000 feet below. The ropes were far from pristine, but they looked good enough to trust. I ended the climb cold, wet, and hungry, and happy to jump into my bag. After another 2 days wait, we got our first Bluebird day. Sat phoned the pilots, and we're back in Tamika. Our favorite part of the trip came once we got off the mountain. We had met many Papuans that had helped us reach our goal. Since we didn't end up hiking through the jungle, we had scores of food and gear that we wanted to leave with our new friends. Needless to say, the stoke was high.